Let's talk about trusted inner guidance, also known as the true inner guide. So once we've established a connection and a recognition of our true self, our highest nature, again, as I mentioned before, this is sort of like finding a mountaintop view, very high perspective of our life. And we're able to see our lives from this lofty perspective and really see it in the context of the bigger picture of the universe. And this can be a wonderful vantage point, and we can actually get a tremendous amount of wisdom from our true self. Our true self will give us, guidance and insight in the form of answers to our questions along the lines of, hey, don't sweat the small stuff. You're eternal, so there's really nothing to worry about. Or, these are just life's lessons, and you're really just in this to learn how to love and to connect with, your fellow human beings and your fellow travelers along the path. All is love, all is one. These sorts of, big, sweeping, vast view kind of answers. And these answers, to be honest, can be really liberating and really exhilarating, actually. I've had people have these experiences where they're like, wow, where did that come from? That sounded like some, Himalayan yogi guru, talking about the oneness of the universe. And that's because we have direct access to that when accessing the higher self, that level of wisdom. But when we come back down the mountain, let's stick with the metaphor, when we come back down the mountain into our so-called everyday life, with all of its, normal like relationships and, issues and obstacles and, just things that we have to deal with, that view or that answer of, hey, all is love and, don't worry, you're eternal and, nothing can ultimately harm you, that's not so practical, right? So what we need, in addition to a connection with our higher self, is connection to some sort of true, trusted inner guidance, our highest sort of human wisdom, that part of our being that really knows us through and through, knows our human experience really well. And it's a part of ourselves that we can trust to, find solutions and give us insight into how to handle very much real life situations and problems. So in this next phase of Pathway to Confidence, we're connecting with trusted inner guidance, a source of trusted inner guidance that we can also call your true inner guide. Now, this experience can happen a number of ways. It can really happen any way that's going to be right for you. But the two main ones that I guide people through are number one, kind of a guided visualization process, where you're, kind of walked through a guided visualization to meet a representation or an appearance of your true inner guide. And this can be, take any sort of human form whatsoever. And this allows for us to then, connect with that true inner wisdom, that true inner guidance in a way that we can relate to, right? We relate really well to, appearances and to, images of people. So when we have an internal experience of our true inner wisdom manifesting or appearing as a human form, it's just much easier to have a conversation with that trusted inner guidance. Now, just to be clear, this is not an external guide. This is not something outside of yourself. Your true inner guide is you. It is your highest human wisdom. Now, this isn't always the right way to go for everybody. Some people don't respond well to the guided visualization process, and they might find it a little awkward or weird or maybe even silly to imagine talking to like this other person, like this other kind of wise figure. So in that case, I just say, no problem. Really, all you have to do is just connect with that heart wisdom that's right here at the center of your being. And it really doesn't have to take any form at all. But again, through hypnosis, we can get into a state of open, relaxed awareness where it just becomes easier to hear that inner guidance, to hear that inner voice. And I find that sometimes even just simply putting your hand on your heart and presenting, kind of getting in tune with your heart wisdom here, and then presenting your heart with a question, whatever it is, whatever problem you're facing, whatever issue that you're working through, and just wait quietly and silently and patiently for the answers to come, and they will come. And the more we do this exercise, whether it's with the appearance of some sort of inner guide appearing in some form to us, or this just more abstract, just kind of listening into our true heart wisdom. Either way, we're going to just get better and better at it, so that the answers to the questions that we have about what next steps to take, and how to work through the most important issues of our life, are going to become that much easier. We're going to do this, of course, as a kind of a live session, but then also there's a recording here as well that you can listen to anytime at your convenience. It's similar to the higher self and true self recordings in that there'll be a gap of time actually built into the session where you can communicate on your own with your true self, or with your true inner guide. And you'll be able to then, after you come out of hypnosis, jot down any notes or insights, or any truths that you've experienced in that session. So this is a wonderful resource. This is something that you can, once you connect with your true inner guide, your trusted inner wisdom, you can access this anytime you choose for the rest of your life. It becomes a very profound, very practical, and very useful resource. I myself personally speak to or connect with my true inner guide on a near daily basis, as I'm just kind of touching in with that loving, pure wisdom, that part of myself that knows me through and through, is very kind, patient, and loving with me, and it just helps me navigate through life. So utilize this resource, practice it, listen to the recording, and until you're comfortable with doing this yourself and taking yourself through this process.